Hey everyone, welcome back to Sham's Makeup Artistry, and today's tutorial is going to be a glowy makeup tutorial, more of like a bronzy everyday kind of Indian makeup tutorial. So if you want to see how I achieved this entire look, please stay tuned. As a face primer, I'm using the Farsali Unicorn Essence. I'm just placing this all over my face and then rubbing it against my skin with my fingers. So this helps just make your makeup glide on smoothly. I also love using the Milk Makeup Blur Stick on the cheek area as well as my nose area where I see there are a bit enlarged pores. So this helps to kind of fade away the pores. And for my foundation, I love using the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick Foundation. I'm in the shade 450. And I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Face Makeup Brush. So this foundation is a pretty full coverage foundation, so you may want to be very slow and then you slowly blend it against your skin to the coverage that you need. I'm just adding a little bit more on my cheek area. And for the eyeshadows, I'm using the Nars Pro Prime Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I'm just applying this over my eyelids. And for the eyeshadows, I'm using the VioletVoss Pro Eyeshadow in HolyGrail. And I'm using the shade Transition on the crease area as a blending shade. So this shade kind of looks like more like my skin tone. So I'm just using this as a blending shade so that my eyeshadows tend to glide on much better. And the next shade I'm using is Hashtag. I'm also placing the shade on the crease area, blending it back and forth. And I'm using the shade Teddy Bear. It's more of like a brown matte eyeshadow shade on the outer corner. Just packing it in before I start blending them in. I'm kind of using the same brush, which is by Luxe Makeup. So you can see that I'm just dabbing the shade in so that I can intensify it. And for the center lid, I'm using the shade Cool Beans. This is more of like a bronzy shade, and I'm applying it with my fingers first. I'm using the same brush to blend the shade. And now I'm using the brush from Morphe. This is their eyeshadow brush. I'm just blending the shade Cool Beans, just adding a little bit more to intensify the shade. And for my eyeliner, I'm using my Inglot Gel Eyeliner. Of course, when it comes to eyeliner, I'm just out of the place all the time. I'm using a Sigma eyeliner brush, which I will list them down on the description bar below. So I'm just doing a very simple wing eyeliner look. And to correct my under eye area, I'm using the Cover FX corrector in orange. I'm also using this on the sides of my mouth. I'm using my Sephora airbrush brush to blend in the concealers. And for the concealer, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Deep over my mouth area and also my under eye area. I'm using the same brush to blend them in before I go on with my beauty blender. And as an highlight shade, I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer in Medium Neutral Deep. Just placing this on the under eye area, on the bridge of my nose, on my Cupid's bow, as well as the sides of my mouth, and also a little bit on the forehead area. For this one, I'm using my beauty blender to blend the concealers in. And to set my entire face, I'm using the Nars Light Reflecting Translucent Powder. This kind of adds the glow to the face. And for the bronzer, I'm using the Sunlit Bronzer by Becca in Maui Nights. Just applying this over my cheekbone area, on my forehead, and all over where I typically like bronzing my entire face. And for the blusher, I'm using the Ambient Lighting Blush from Hourglass in Diffused Heat. I'm kind of obsessed with this blusher. It's such a beautiful one. So most of the cheek products that I'm using, it kind of adds glow on itself. I'm using the Kat Von D translucent powder just to clear up the shape of my bronzer. I'm not actually baking them. I kind of like only like baking cakes. And for the highlight, I'm using the Wet n Wild highlighter in Precious Petals. I'm just dabbing the deep brown shade in Teddy Bear just to intensify the crease area. I'm using the shade Crystal as an highlight shade for the brow bone area. I'm using the shade Transition on the lower lid just to smoke it out tad a little bit. I'm using the Inglot Gel Eyeliner in number 77 on the inner lid. I'm using the Marc Jacobs eyeliner in the shade Brownie just to smoke out the lower lash area as well. And my Colourpop black eyeliner I'm using on the inner rim. I'm just blending the shade Transition yet again, because it kind of disappeared after me putting the eyeliner. I should have done it before that. I'm using the shade Are You Kitten Me on the lower lash area as well, just blending them in. And the shade Crystal on the inner corner as an highlight shade. And for my brow, I'm using the Benefit Brow Pencil. I'm using the Bobbi Brown eyelash curler to curl my lashes. And for the mascara, I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Fee Line Mascara. And for the lip liner, I'm using the Huda Beauty lip liner in Vixen. I'm so sad that I do still have a half about this, but kind of the lid inside, it doesn't want to sharpen anymore and doesn't show up, so it's kind of disappointing. So I'm just lining my lips and trying to get like a huge voluptuous kind of lips, if that does make sense. I'm just kidding. For the lipstick, I'm using the Gabrielle Zamora lipstick by MAC. Topping up with the Laura Lee lipstick by MAC. set my entire face, I'm using this Scandinavia makeup setting spray in Bridal. And there you have it, my glowy Indian makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys enjoyed the tutorial with me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, definitely support me by subscribing to my channel. To my very next one, stay beautiful both inside and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all the love and support, and goodbye.